Good morning, kids. So let's continue from where we left off. I think we had done till till here. Uh, no, we had until here, right? Till this page. And I think we have a diagram for this already. So I should open the file and open document. Let's see. Is it? Ah, so yesterday was 12th, right? Today is 13th. Yes. So let's open that file because we'll already have things there. There it is. So let us continue with this. We were deriving this formula. And we reached till here, Pythagoras theorem. We said that AD square is nothing but AC square plus CD square, right? That's what we've written. Now AD is how much? AD is basically S. So S square is equal to AC square. And what is AC? AC is nothing but, okay, let's see what is AC. AC is AC is nothing but AB plus BC, right? And how much is AB? AB is A plus BC, and BC is how much? BC is BC, that is AC equal to. Now let us see what is DC equal to. DC we already know it is equal to BS, right? So AC is nothing but A plus BC whole square plus DC is nothing but BS whole square. Okay. So that is A square is equal to A square plus B square C square plus 2 ABC plus B square S square. Now if you see B square C square and B square S square, you can bring them together and write it as S square is equal to A square plus 2ABC plus this. You can take B square common and it will be S square plus C square. And you know what is the value of S square plus C square? That's equal to 1. Right? Sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Right? So I'll write down here since sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So that tells me that S square is what? A square plus B square plus to ABC, and of course if we take a under root of it, we'll get the next part of it, that S is equal to root of A square plus B square plus 2ABC, right? Now that is the magnitude in terms of A, B and theta. And finally find the value of mod of A plus B. So let's find the value of mod of A plus B also. So what is S if you see? So if you see, S is nothing but the mod of S vector. And what is S vector equal to? S vector is equal to, see, it is the sum of the two vectors, right? It's the sum of A vector and B vector. So S vector is nothing but sum of A vector and B vector. So that is magnitude of A vector plus B vector. That's what S is equal to, right? So if I put that value here, I get the value of S is how much? Magnitude of A vector plus B vector. So I get that magnitude of A vector plus B vector is equal to root of A square plus B square plus 2ABC, right? And as I have been telling you, C uh, means S square plus C square is equal to 1, right? I told you C and S are what? Sin theta and cos theta. I must have mentioned it here in the beginning, or elsewhere I must have mentioned before this. I'll write it here again. Sin theta equal to S and cos theta is equal to C, right? So there it is. We got this result also. Now what else do we need? Magnitude of resultant R in terms of A, B and theta. Magnitude of resultant. That we have done. Then finally find the value of mod of A plus B, that also done. Theta is the angle between which two vectors? So tell me, theta is the angle between which two vectors here? Theta is the angle between A vector and B vector, right? You can see here. The answer will be, so this A vector and this B vector and their tails are together. So this angle theta must be the angle between the vectors. So theta is the angle between which two vectors? Answer is A vector and B vector. Right? Angle of resultant with A. Now let's make a box here because these are important formulas. Now angle made by the resultant, which is the S vector with A vector. So let's say that angle is beta, and we have to find beta, let's say. So how do you do that? To find angle between S vector and A vector. So we can write tan beta. Tan beta is what? From the right triangle you can see. So I can say that in triangle ADC, what is tan beta equal to? What upon what? Tan beta will be equal to perpendicular upon base. So it will be DC by AC. And what is DC equal to, if you remember? DC was BS. And AC was nothing but A plus BC. Okay? So that is what is tan beta equal to. So we got value of tan beta, that is BS divided by A plus BC. Got it? Right? And now you can see that so this was B, this is B. So what is, and this theta. So what is this adjacent side? BC, right? And BC is nothing but B cos theta, right? Is BC. So adjacent side becomes cos theta. So that's what it is written here. Adjacent side is always cos theta times the magnitude of the original vector. And the non-adjacent side means this side. Non-adjacent side is always, if this is B cos theta, this is how much? DC is how much? You see, DC is B sin theta. So the opposite side is B sin theta. Is always sin theta times the original vector. Right? So now take all this down. Okay. So now let's go ahead. Let's find the value of R. Maximum value and minimum value. R means S only. This S that we found out. Let's find its maximum value and minimum value. So what will be R minimum? If R is minimum, what can you say about cos theta? Cos theta will be also minimum, right? So R minimum is equal to how much? Under root of a square plus b square plus 2ab, and cos theta minimum value is how much? -1, right? Which is basically mod of a minus b. So that is the minimum value of R, a minus b mod, right? And when does it happen? This implies theta, for cos theta to be minimum, for cos theta equal to -1, theta should be how much? 180 degrees. That's for minimum. Now let us say maximum if you want. Now if you want maximum, so for maximum, cos theta should be maximum, and cos theta is maximum for which value? 0. Theta equal to 0, right? Theta equal to 0. This implies cos theta is how much? 1. So you get R is equal to under root of a square plus b square plus 2ab into 1. So R is equal to a plus b for theta equal to 0. Take this one. Right, let's go ahead with that. How many minimum vectors on adding will give 0 resultant? So one vector is a and the other vector is, let's say, minus a. So if you add two vectors you can get 0, right? So how many minimum vectors are required on adding to give 0 resultant? The answer is 2. You can have minimum 2 vectors, then the resultant will be 0. The maximum minimum resultant of two forces is 5:3, then what is the ratio of the two forces? They are saying that R max divided by R min. That ratio is how much? 5/3. Then what is the ratio of the forces? So R max is how much? A plus B. We saw the formula. Max is A plus B, right? This is R max, R max, right? R max was A plus B. So R max is A plus B and R min is A minus B. That also we have seen here. See, A minus B is minimum value, right? So R max upon R min is equal to 5/3. And you want to find out the ratio of the forces means you have to find out A by B value. A by B is how much? Right? For that I can divide the entire equation by B. Right? And once we do that, we get the value of A by B. Let that be equal to X. Let that be equal to X. A by B becomes X. X plus B by B is, that's 1, right? B by B is 1. So X plus 1 divided by X minus 1 is equal to 5/3. And that tells me that now you can bring 3 on this side, this on this side, so it becomes 3x plus 3 equal to 5x minus 5. So 5 goes here, it becomes 8 is equal to, this goes here, it becomes 2x. So x becomes 4. So we get 4:1. Next, take this down. Okay, let's go ahead. If A vector plus B vector is equal to D vector, and okay, what is let's try to understand some things here. And what I want you to understand is this. See, you have A vector plus B vector is equal to D vector, right? And mod of A vector plus mod of B vector is equal to mod of D square, right? So first of all, let's see, do you understand this or not? Let me ask you something. What is magnitude of A vector? Can be simply written as what? Tell me. I've told you, no? Magnitude of A vector, if you put a mod, it can simply be written as what? Simply be written as A. Similarly, magnitude of B vector can simply be written as B. The short way, you know. Similarly, magnitude of D vector will become what? Simply equal to D. Right? Now see. Now you have mod of A can be written as A square plus mod of B vector can be written as B square is equal to D square. Right? And let D vector be like that only. Okay. Mod of D vector whole square. So how do you find the value of mod of D vector? Now D vector is equal to A vector plus B vector. How do you find out the value of mod of D vector? What do you do for that? For that, what we can do is we can say, well, take mod both sides. Let's take mod both sides. So if you take mod both sides, what do you get? You get A vector plus B vector ka whole mod is equal to D vector ka whole mod. Right? So what is mod of D vector coming out to be? Mod of A vector plus B vector, which is nothing but under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. That is mod of D vector. Right? And that value of mod of D vector you can take and you can put it here. Right? So once you do that, what do you get? You get A square plus B square is equal to mod of D vector, which is nothing but root of this, and uska pura square. So that will give you A square plus B square is equal to square of this, which is A square plus B square plus 2ABC, right? And of course this gets cancelled, right? Giving you A2ABC is equal to how much? 2ABC value is coming out to be equal to 0, right? So that tells you that, well, C is cos theta. Cos theta is coming out to be 0. That means theta must be how much? 90 degree. And what is the answer we are getting? If theta is 90 degree, we are getting angle between A and B, that is 90 degree. So take this down. Fine, so let's go ahead. Two forces 3p and 2p have resultant R. If the first force is doubled, the magnitude of the resultant of also doubles. Find the angle between the two forces. So two forces of magnitude 2p and 3p have resultant R. So let's see this question. Forces of magnitude 2p and 3p have resultant R. So I can say that R square is equal to what? I can directly write the formula. Why? Because this is the result, right? This is the resultant of 2p and 3p. So we can directly write that R square is equal to 2p square plus 3p square plus 2 times 2 times 2p into, well, I'm just using that formula. You see which formula I'm using? We know that resultant square is what? A square plus b square plus 2abc, if you remember, right? So R square can be written as, we had this formula here, no? We made this formula in the derivation. Where it is? Here it is. See, R square is equal to A square plus B square plus 2abc, right? That formula we have. So I can write R square is equal to um, A. This is A, let's call this B. It will be like 3p whole square plus 2p whole square plus 2. A means 3p, 2p into cos theta, right? And now it is saying that first two forces are doubled, the magnitude of the resultant also doubles. Find the angle between the two forces. So first two forces are doubled. First two forces are doubled means what they are made. If the if the first force is doubled, so from 3p it becomes 6p. And then they say the magnitude of the resultant is also double means R becomes how much? 2R. Find the angle between the two forces. So now what will be the equation in the second case? The equation will be R becomes 2R, right? So I can write 2R whole square is equal to A becomes 6p whole square plus 2p whole square plus 2 A into B, which is 6p into 2p into cos theta. Right? So this is what we get. So let us simplify this and it will become 4R square is equal to 36p square plus 2p whole square, right? Yeah. So 6 is 36, that is 4p square plus 6 4 is 24 p square c. Now what will happen? You will get the terms cancelled. 4 will get cancelled, and that is 4 9s are 36. That gets cancelled. So 6 gets cancelled. 24 is 6 into 4, so that gets cancelled. So what you are left with is, let's write down what we are left with. R square is equal to 9p square plus p square is how much? 10p square plus 6 p square c, right? While what is this side equal to? Let's see, 9 p square plus 4 p square plus 12 p square c, which gives me 13 p square plus 12 p square c is equal to r square. Right? I hope you guys are understanding what we are doing here exactly. Right? Now we have to find the angle between the forces. Means what we have to find out, guys? We have to find out theta, right? Means cos theta we have to find out. How do we do that? Let's see. How can we get that? I've got it till here. Hmm. Now what do? I have to get the value of cos theta. So how do I get the value of cos theta? I have to remove the value of r square, right? So let's remove r square from here. So what I can do is I will take this r square and I'll substitute here. So what is the value you're getting? That is 13 p square plus 12 p square c must be equal to 10 p square plus 6 p square c, right? And then we end up getting this p square cancelled, right? And then we get this goes here, that is 3 is equal to this goes there and it is minus 6 c. So c equal to minus 1 by 2, which meaning c means cos theta, right? So you're telling me that cos theta is minus 1 by 2. This implies that theta must be how much for this to happen? Okay, theta equals to 120 degree. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now, sum of magnitude of two forces acting on a point is 16 and the magnitude of the resultant is 90 degrees of force. Okay, so this more questions are there. You can try these questions, and what we can do is we can go to the next topic, that is how to add three vectors. So let us see how to add three vectors. So let us say you have this vector, this one vector, and this another vector, and this is the last vector. We have to add these three vectors, right? So what do we do to add three vectors? I told you we have to do parallel shifting. Actually, three vectors we don't know how to add. So they're asking us to add three vectors. No, we don't know how to add three vectors, right? So the strategy is something like this. Strategy is to add two vectors at a time. At one time add two vectors. So if this is, let's say, a vector, this is, let's say, b vector, let's add these two vectors. I have to add, actually I have to add a plus b plus c, right? So what am I suggesting? Add two vectors means I'm asking you to only add a vector and b vector first. Then whatever addition of a vector and b vector we get, we'll add it with c vector. That's the plan, right? So this is what we'll do next time. Yeah? I've told you what we will do. So let me save the notes now. And this, if we do it now, we don't have much time. So we will complete it in the next class. How to add three vectors. And I told you what is the strategy. Since we don't know how to add three vectors, I'll go ahead and add two vectors, right? And whatever result I get, that I'll add to C vector. So basically, I will still be adding two vectors at a time only, not three vectors completely, right? Okay. So let me save this file, export. Eleven, 3, 6.